Hello, everyone. We should be live. So,
Yeah.
welcome to the long-awaited Jaded Talk number 30. Today we're going to talk about the first book of Young Jedi Knights. It's called Heirs of the Force. Once again joined by my lovely co-host Pico here. Yeah. So, out the gate. You remember last time where we spoke about how we're going to do these streams and we were like, yeah, 6 books per stream is kind of too much. We're going to do 3 books per stream instead because that's more realistic. As you can tell, something changed along the way. Yeah, it's like, no, it's too much. I can't have 3 books per stream, because I realized, okay, I'm taking too long reading these books because they're kind of not all that fun to read at the moment, and yeah, I had no. I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll get over it, Mr. Noah. But if you were looking forward to 1, 2, 3, then I have to disappoint you. I'm sorry, but this is better for my nerves, my energy, my investment in Star Wars. I don't want to I'm at the finish line. I don't want to kill my Star Wars enthusiasm right as we're about to start NJO. So we'd rather do this instead, I think. Yeah, I think that's about it. I guess let's just start. Pico, Heirs of the Force. What did you think?
You're making me do it first. Okay.
As usual, if you want, we can change it up. I don't mind.
It's not very good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's not.
it establishes a lot of stupid things, and the characters are kind of terrible people.
Yep. I don't even know what really to say. This is it's. I mean, I started reading it and I immediately knew. Yeah, I know this. Like I've read this kind of book. It's Kevin. Like I felt right at home immediately. Yeah, this was Kevin.
As the resident Kevin J. Anderson fans in the fandom, it's pretty
Obviously, yeah,
disappointing.
we're the biggest defenders here. Obviously, we can't. I mean, he's the author we're speaking most about, right? So that's gotta account for
Every
something.
stream he's mentioned,
Every stream, yeah. It's like all roads lead back to him. Yeah, okay. I mean, on the road to NJO. Like if post NJO, I'm gonna kill my Star Wars enthusiasm. At least I experienced NJO, kind of. You know what I mean? But like, if I burn out afterwards, that's fine. That's true. These books are indeed written by Kevin J. Anderson, and indeed, Jason and Jaina are not adults in these books, so they are factually kids. That's also correct. Although they're teenagers, so kids maybe isn't the right. But whatever, details. Who cares? Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's like, it's like you were convicted for 10 years and you get out, and then like week afterwards you get imprisoned again. It's like it just feels familiar. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's start to talk about the cover, I guess. Whew. I don't think this is all that good. Mainly, I think Jaina's face. I don't know. Maybe it's the eyes.
I think it's the cheek.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Something is off. Jason is a bit better, but also off. And I don't know if
is fine, I guess.
I mean Wookiee, sure.
Yeah.
I mean Coral is like barely a silhouette, so yeah. Here's a TIE fighter. I don't know if this was supposed to be like a style that they were going for. I guess it was.
I assume it's the jungle, but I don't
Yeah.
know what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it looks like, I don't know, the way they colored it. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not a big fan of the cover. There really is nothing more to say. I'm afraid. I don't exactly remember this thing being in here, but who cares?
I'm gonna say it's Peckham's ship because.
Oh,
or no, wait, is that the T-26? Mate, I don't know.
It could be Peckham's ship, but honestly I'm not sure, and I don't think I care that much either. This is, I don't know, the gas giant perhaps. I don't know what these things look like. I don't know if they're supposed to like represent sun rays or something, or like something. Maybe it's something really simple and I just don't get it, but it's kind of in here. So you see, we're really enthusiastic about this. So
You don't forget the Falcon. You can't forget the Falcon's there. I know what that is.
the Falcon is there. Han Solo is in this book. Yeah, there you go. Heirs of the Force. I don't quite know what. I guess it's only because it's about these two, and I guess they are the next generation, so they are the heirs of the Force. I'm not sure that this title has any meaning, really.
I think it's just harkening back to Heir to the Empire.
Maybe, yeah, could be. The German title is Guardians of the Force, so I don't know. Make of that whatever you will.
What are they guarding?
I don't know. Themselves, I guess. Yeah. Author of the Jedi Academy trilogy. Wouldn't you want to have that on your resume?
That seal of quality right there.
It's like, boom, read this.
Because Darksaber is still 2 months away to come out, so can't be on there just yet.
I mean, and Rebecca Moester. Yeah, there's
not her best work.
Nope, and it's not gonna get better anytime soon. But oh well. Yeah, that's really all there's to say about this. Let's just get through these. You do know you got it all wrong.
That's true.
Of course, because we have an evil empire in here, right?
Even though it's explicitly not the same empire.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make sense, to be fair, but it's also really not the empire, so, Coral is just funny in general. I clapped when I saw it. Yeah, true. I remember that ship from the movie that I watched at some point in my childhood. So both this book and Legacy of the Force are Titans. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, one is Wächter, one is Hüter, and yeah, exactly.
And they're both Guardians?
It both just translates to Guardian. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. I don't want to say that is
prophecy.
A prophetic coincidence here. But maybe I'm just being negative because it's Kevin. Who knows? Yeah. So let's just start, I guess. Chapter 1. We get introduced to this funny new character. You might have heard of him, Jason. Jason has a hobby. That's kind of normal for a teenager, I guess. His hobby is keeping a bunch of wild and specifically carnivorous animals. And he has Jaina, so his teen sister, build cages and like fish tanks for him. Okay.
So we're already off to a great start here.
Exactly. So Luke Skywalker, really, really concerned about security, lets his little nephew keep predators as pets
in his room.
His room. Yeah, not even like, I don't know, an anatomy classroom or something. No, it's just in his private sleeping chambers.
Plus, in this month that they've been here, because they've been here for a month now, he's already had some animals get loose, or that's already happened. That's
It's
explicitly
like a
already
running
happening.
gag.
Just keep that in mind for later.
Yeah. What do I like? Does this need any commentary? I feel like it doesn't, but
maybe someone's trying to look for writing advice here, so maybe we should just keep.
Yeah, I guess Jason is the animal guy, so what he's supposed to do is animals, I guess. Like, hey, I'm the animal person. That's why I keep animals, even though they could. Like, the one thing he holds is like, what was it? Piranha beetles?
Piranha beetles, yeah.
Yeah, they explicitly can like chew off all of your meat from your body and leave you behind as just a bunch of bones in like a matter of seconds. So it's not even like I don't know, a jaguar, which I guess you could maybe defend if you have a lightsaber. No, these things attack you, and in a matter of seconds, you cease to exist. He's a teenager. Now, it's not even good for him to keep those. Like, let's say he was a teacher at this academy. That's still stupid. You have children running around, and like if he wants, like if it's like, okay, you can keep those, make sure they're secure. I'm gonna make sure too. And then the first time somebody, like some of these animals break out, it's like, okay, fuck all of them out of here right now. Nope. Jason keeps those, and Luke is fine with it, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, true. I mean, the German translators knew what they were doing. What? Is the Aquaman? Because Aquaman can call fish to him, and that's what Jason does. Is it because of that? Or because people make fun of Aquaman? A multi-layered joke, perhaps, there. Yeah. There you go. Apparently, so, yeah, more information. Apparently Luke doesn't believe in a strict studying order, which to me sounds like hippie, do whatever you want kind of shit. But I don't know, it doesn't quite sound like Luke. And there was this quote. I just kind of freely translated as you need to understand the Milky Way tapestry in its entirety, not just in its rigid, singled out structures, whatever that exactly means. I don't know. But it's like, I guess you got to do everything, not just, like if you're just having a curriculum and you follow everything by order, that's not understanding the whole picture, I guess. So Luke's just doing nothing.
He's chilling, as we'll find out later. You know, he's hardly ever at the academy anyway. So
unless we need him to be, then he
yeah. Unless he has to be there for the epilogue.
Yeah, it's like the Falcon is actually a great spaceship, unless the story needs it to be shit. Jason is basically kind of a gay fish, yeah. Yeah, to me, it sounds like he's running a hippie commune instead of an academy. So, yeah, it basically means, yeah, Jason is allowed to collect animals in his free time, I guess. Oh yeah, and then we do a funny. So Jason has a pet snake, and it's not only, it's like a crystal snake or whatnot. So it's completely transparent. You're actually not able to see it most of the time unless you're like looking at it from a very lucky angle. Yeah.
It shockingly, it escaped. I don't know. Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah, true.
I'm surprised he didn't say that, but no, he says, "I've got a bad feeling about this" instead, which is one of the lines that I knew from that movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's that line that people remember. It's also what they did in that animated show. Oh yeah, I've heard that line before. Yes, so he's like, oh shit, I actually have no way of ever finding it. So he goes to Jaina.
No, don't forget. You forgot a very crucial part.
Oh, I did. Okay.
This is this creature. No one's ever seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jason is probably the first human that has ever researched it before, and according to Jason's limited research, the thing isn't particularly dangerous, except for it causes a piercing amount of pain when it bites you, and then you fall asleep for an hour, which means it is extremely dangerous.
And
because paralysis.
I understand if it bites you again, you're out for like a week or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's hardly an inconvenience. So
yeah, it's just sleep, right? Yeah,
it's just sleep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we're being honest, isn't death also just like very long sleep?
and some kids, like Raynar, for example, would use that hazard as like a reason to tell Jason to put it a zoo outside instead of keeping it locked in his room, which is honestly disgusting, and I think Raynar should be punished for that.
Obviously, Raynar is the villain of this because people who are kind of logical in Kevin books are usually the villains. So, I mean, not really though. Then, but in this case, I guess. So, I don't even want to know. Yeah. So he needs help from Jaina. Jaina wants to go to the river to recharge her batteries. Sure. Yeah, I always, I always go to the river. That's actually why I like visiting my grandparents so much. I can go to the Danube, like biggest river in Europe, and I can recharge my batteries. It's so great. It's just like
just shove your double A's inside the street.
and it works for phones too, right? So I have my phone. I plug the charger inside the phone, and then the other end I just throw into the river. And then I'm holding it out, like a fishing line, just waiting, and it gets recharged.
Eventually, you get a bite, and then you get your energy back.
Exactly. You get a bite. Maybe even a fish is gonna bite. So you're gonna have your supper, and also a fully charged phone. What more could you possibly want? Yeah. I think we might eventually reach the conclusion that, considering Denning probably wouldn't have happened without Kevin, at least not in this capacity, that Kevin might have been more damaging to Star Wars overall than Troy. I'm open to that conclusion, to be honest. I know I'm gonna hate Troy probably, but that's the thing you have to consider, mate. Yeah. Oh yeah, and she has company with her. Or she's supposed to have her quote trained friend, Tenelka. I've heard of that name before. The master and an apprentice. Well, from what I have gathered, Troy has learned very well from Kevin. Yeah. So that snake, that snake, it got released, and it bit
again. By the way, explicitly, it's not the first time that it's got out.
Exactly, and it's not going to be the last time either. So prepare for that. Yeah. So that snake, it bit Raynar. So Raynar, he's kind of presented to you like he's the Draco Malfoy of the Praxium, but he's kind of right, because like he hates Jason, and I mean, he's a character that you could easily hate, I think, if this is what he's known for. But yeah, it bites Raynar. He's arrogant prick. He's pompous, I guess. He doesn't wear the school Jedi robes because he likes to wear his own special ones.
What a selfish bitch!
What an asshole! Even though Luke tells him to wear the Jedi Academy robes, so I guess that kind of makes Luke idiotic as well. Like, just right. They are allowed to wear whatever they want. It's okay. Like, I wouldn't mind if they don't have school uniforms. It's not actually that deep. But you're making out Luke to look like an idiot because he asks this guy to wear Academy robes, and yet he doesn't. So
either you care or you don't. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like all or nothing, I guess. But yeah, Luke's kind of in between. Oh yeah, so Jason and Jaina find him. They work together to lift like his sleeping form with the Force. Oh yeah, because as you said, a bite by that snake is sleep inducing.
Which isn't dangerous. Which isn't
Jason
dangerous,
takes
of course.
exactly. It's just sleep. So, I mean, if you fell asleep in, let's say, a starship, that could be kind of dangerous, sure. Other than that, it's just sleep. Yeah, and then Jason, he takes the snake, and Reyna is like, "Did you let another one of your animals escape? And they're lying about it, like, no, totally didn't happen at all. Yeah, that's the first chapter. I was like, I guess Jason and Jaina interacting is like kind of amusing, and that's really it. Wait, what? My honest reaction to this.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I remember. The thing is, I remember Anexu from Attack of the Clones, so that's totally fine, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's really funny to me too.
What's great is that normally that wouldn't be a joke.
Yes, but then again, I doubt Troy Denning was self-aware enough to turn this into a joke, like on purpose. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 2. Okay. Chapter 2 starts immediately. It gets disgusting, which is kind of what I expect because it's Kevin. So, another freely translated quote. Just bear with me. Quote. So, just the setting. They're going to basically the school cafeteria, right? And quote, the only thing Jaina could distinguish for sure are the smell of sweat and other evaporations of Jedi students, their matted fur, sunburned scales, and sweet sour pheromones.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I am actually rendered speechless. Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's something she gets to do. I guess so. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, Luke's a retard, so I wouldn't put it past him to just let this guy go in there, screw a bunch of his female students or male students. Caesar kind of gives me that vibe of being like in the closet or something. So maybe maybe Luke has a deal with Caesar. Who knows? Yeah. Oh yes. So okay, there's a mention that quote Anakin is still on Coruscant, but is supposed to join them shortly. And to me, it sounded like okay, the intention is that he wasn't here yet. That's kind of at least the.
I think it's pretty clear that the original intention for these was supposed to be YJK and then JJK, but it's gonna become very, very, very apparent that that's impossible.
Exactly, and yeah, as we spoke about, this to me is like easily redeemable if you just, I mean, they have something like school holidays, so if you're just kind of changing it around to Anakin was here at one point, he just isn't right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty simple, and
he's in a younger class, so he doesn't have to be here all the time.
Exactly, it wouldn't necessarily make that much sense. Yeah, so there you go. Oh yeah, exactly. We get introduced to Tanelka. Oh boy. Tanelka is a skillful athlete, okay, but she lacks interest in book studies, and also she's kind of expressionless. She doesn't really, at least, portray that many emotions to others. And yeah, the twins have explicitly made it their mission to humor her so much that eventually they make her laugh because they've never seen her laugh before, and that's kind of like, it's almost, I guess, like a competition who gets to see her smile first, which is, I guess, kind of sweet. And
it's
I
important
wonder
to note that it's both of them that tried to do that.
It's important. Why would that be important?
You know.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Sure. I guess so. Yeah. So, Tenelka has made it her thing to rely more on her physical strength and just really using the Force for emergencies, and just to not over rely on it, which is, yeah, that's kind of smart, I guess. Yeah, I understand that.
Can I say the first Jason bad joke? Because
Sure, yeah.
it's coming up. So
You kept track of them. I did not.
yeah,
I made a point to not keep track.
just so everyone knows, I'm keeping track of all the bad jokes Jason tells.
For documentation,
so, yeah. What do you call the person who brings a rancor for its dinner? Sorry, words. I was drinking coffee just now. What do you call the person who brings a rancor its dinner? And then the answer is the appetizer. So he's got a copy of 1,000 Greatest Dad Jokes under his bed somewhere, I'm sure. For
I mean, fair enough.
That's opportunity.
Yeah. Jason, I mean, we're not getting explicit jokes from Jaina, but it's made clear that she does the same thing. And oh boy, yeah, we're gonna get,
or at least she used to. Maybe she's given up because
could
she
be.
can tell that Jason has a thing for Tenelka at this point.
Really, I didn't get that feeling at all. You sure? I mean, Jason's really subtle about his feelings. If that's so, good for him. Wait, do I have that around? I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. There you go. Yeah. So, oh yeah.
It's food fight time, right?
Almost. Thank God, because of that thing that Talonka mentioned, that she doesn't want to rely on her Force powers and wants to like be physically trained as well, or mostly. I was like, it's good that this isn't Jason from Black Fleet Crisis, if you remember, and I wouldn't fault you if you don't, because why would you? He complains to Luke about how he doesn't actually want to train like physically, he just wants to learn more Force powers right now. So it's like, oh, I guess it's good for Jason that he isn't that kind of person anymore, because that would be kind of awkward. I'm not gonna put this comment up. Noah, fuck you. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, Kevin is sus, as we know. Quote, Tenelka, like all women of Dathomir, dressed scantily and with a figure-hugging fit.
Yeah, she did.
How old is she supposed to be? Around
around the same age as the twins, so like 14-ish, 14, 15.
Okay then. Fabe. I don't know if you have learning disabilities. I don't speak fucking Swedish. I never have. I probably never will. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's Kevin, so I wouldn't put it past him if he thought it's freely translated. You know, I'm not gonna check out the fucking English version of that as well. I'm not that into this book. Yeah. There you go. I was like, yeah, this guy has to have like some serious dirt on Chris Hansen, I guess, because I'd investigate his hard drive. But yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, Luke, he's retelling the story of Brachus. You know, he knew immediately that he was an Imperial spy when he joined the Praxium, but he tried everything like in his powers to make him see the light, and also give him a task that made him see how broken he was inside, actually. And Brachus ultimately didn't manage to fulfill that task. And he's like, yeah, you know, in the future, you're going to have to make lots of decisions. And I want to give you the tools to make the correct ones. That's probably, I assume, the best Luke characterization we're going to get throughout this entire series. Because, yeah, hey, there you go. You kind of get Luke's perspective, and it doesn't sound like lunacy. So that's good. Chapter 3, that's not so good. So, the Praxium. I know this is a concept we've never done before, so bear with me because it's kind of shocking that we're gonna get this. But the Praxium gets attacked.
What?
It's a thing that can happen. I know. I almost didn't believe it when I read it because I'm like, what? This is a thing.
It's so well defended. Like Luke's there, and that's it.
Luke's there, and we have that mother of pearl eyes singer who's, she has a guitar. I mean, like I've seen Disney movies. You can make like wild animals obey to your will with music. So Talonka is like a big important defender, and we have Peckham. He's the guy. Yeah, so the Praxium gets attacked. It gets attacked by a big monster. The monster is kind of ludicrous. So it's a hairy monster. It's standing on 6 legs. Its head is shaped like a triangle, and it has at least a dozen feelers sticking out of its head with eyes in them. And I think it's the size of Peckham's shuttle.
It's a great place for a school, right?
It sounds these memes like, oh, your grandparents tell you how how their school way was, and it's like sounds like they're
they walked uphill both ways, and yeah.
Exactly, yeah. This is kind of the feel I get. Yeah.
This is like that, and the school can't even afford a fence, so
Yeah, they don't even have like a turret, like an automated turret that's just there. Yeah. So Luke is there. He makes it leave with the Force. Sure, yeah. And that's it. So I was like the scene in isolation, how he like makes the animal go away. That's fine. But there's a random kaiju who's just like walking around your school, and you're not leaving. You're not even investigating whether there's other monsters around. Like you just sent that monster
you don't
away.
even put up a fence. What?
You don't even have a fucking fence. Like you know how ray shields are a thing? You have those things. Like make it just
add one.
Surround your fucking academy with it. Put them up, and everything that's gonna walk into it is gonna fucking get disintegrated. What's so complicated? Yeah. Of course, Jason, like everybody, is still allowed to leave the building and go out to like pursue their hobbies, like Jason's gonna do to find new animals and whatnot. I don't even get. I guess this is like set up for some later book at some point. I hope so, at least. But you don't get what this monster is, why it's here, where it's coming from, if there are more, if they're gonna attack again. And the characters just don't do nothing. Like okay, yeah, it's gone now.
Luke handle it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll never come back, so we're good.
I mean, that isn't shocking to me, to be honest. Like, you're not interested at all? Like, not even a bit? Yeah. That's Luke for you. Chapter 4. Han visits Yavin 4. And the twins are like really looking forward to it. And it's kind of sweet how much they're looking forward to it. Like especially Jaina is a lot, and she even she tidies up her room, she does her hair. She pretends that she doesn't like being complimented by Han, but she really appreciates it. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's nice father-daughter relationship. Why not? After Han left them behind for Kip Doran to go skiing, that's a nice change of pace. Although it doesn't make sense, because I mean, Kip Doran is the child that Han never had, so I don't really get what he's doing with
these two imbeciles,
Yeah, like who the fuck do they think they are? But
interrupting the growing relationship between Han and Kip.
Exactly. Like
they've gone on so many adventures, like when they destroyed the Sun Crusher and
Yep. That was a thing that happened.
and that's it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, that's really stupid. That's really fucking stupid. Do you want to know what the population of remnants of Exarchun's Sith alchemy should be at this point? 0. There should be 0 of these things running around. Unless they dug themselves into the ground and just stayed there forever. 0. I mean, yeah. Fair enough. Would at least be consistent with Han's portrayal in Kevin J. Anderson's books, I guess.
Oh, we actually have another shitty Jason joke this chapter. That's
We
epic.
do.
Yeah.
Shoot
Okay.
it. What is it?
Hey, Jaina, you know why TIE fighters scream in space? Because they miss their mothership. Okay, continue on.
I kind of made a point to just read over them and not even register these jokes because I'm like, I don't care. But I think I'm gonna facepalm every time you say one of them. Like, think about the time when you were 14, 15, and wonder, like, were those the kinds of jokes that you did at that time?
No.
Like 14, 15, I think I did the most horrible, offensive jokes I ever made in my entire life. Like 14, 15, Jesus Christ. These sound like, I mean, these sound like jokes that Anakin might do. I mean, not even Anakin is more mature than the two of them. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be
I
my
know.
Xbox Live day.
I know, and it's
Yes, that's why I'm documenting them.
if there was like some, some I don't know, like some internal comments from Troy who said like, I just wanted to prove to everybody how stupid it is that I have so many Jason jokes that I can name each chapter after one, then I would really respect it. But I'm afraid that this isn't the reason.
Well, apparently
why
he
you
makes
wrote
up some of them because he doesn't have enough to fit the theme, I guess. I don't know.
I don't even know what's worse. Getting these jokes or making up your own as you could. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Chewie's greeting them. That's also kind of cool. He he throws both of them into the air like they're babies, obviously. Wookiee, yeah, makes sense. And we get a new character. We get Lobaka. Lobaka is his nephew, and he's gonna be the new academy student because yeah, he's also force sensitive.
It's a bit contrived that Chewbacca has a nephew named Lobaka and is force sensitive.
Yeah.
But I guess that's a thing now.
That's kind of what I can still accept. It's like, okay, I mean, that's really kind of convenient, but fine. Okay, sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, Han also brought like fodder for Jason's animals, which now that I think about it means that he's encouraging this kind of hobby. Cool. And yeah, he brought some scrap parts for Jaina because Jaina loves like tinkering and building things. Yeah, one of these gifts I think was a hyperdrive generator. I think
A
even
broken hyperdrive unit,
yeah.
yes.
Okay. I was like, I mean, hey, he kind of, if their hobbies were, I guess Jaina's hobby isn't horrible, but if Jason's hobby wasn't horrible, that would be like a really cool father scene.
Just
But
move Jason's zoo outside. That's all you gotta do. Just make a shed or something.
it's not that hard. Like, if you have normal classes, which I guess I'm supposed to believe they have, like do biology classes, and let them have like a whatever. It's not that complicated, really. You don't have to like drastically rewrite anything to make this work. I don't get why people didn't.
That's true.
Hey, that's good. So it's a bit less contrived, I guess. Yeah, there you go. Chapter 5. Yeah, Jason's really excited about getting to meet Loey and showing him around, so that's nice, I guess. Oh, yeah, Jason says something to Loey. Quote, Jaina and I know this Jedi Academy since we were 2 years old. Please shut up. I don't want to be reminded of this. Shut up. He could make that probably more interesting and introspective than anything else I've read by Kevin so far, at least in novels. There you go. Oh yeah, they are getting a droid, and my god, that droid. The droid is called MTD. In German, at least, and now I learned he's also called the same in English. He translates Shuriwook to basic, so Loey is able to speak to his friends because obviously they wouldn't know how to speak. Yeah, I guess that's useful. Good for him, I guess. Although I do wonder why there should be protocol droids all around because they have but whatever details.
Why doesn't Chewie have one?
Yeah, I don't know. Because everybody, you might have seen this movie once. It's called A New Hope.
Mhm.
Everybody understands Chewie, so canonically,
Just because Han's there, right?
yeah. But have you seen that movie? There you go. That's all. That's all you need to know. Yeah, and rabid Sith monsters. What's your first memory of this place? My uncle took control of my body and used me to fight Sith monsters. Okay. Yeah. Why would they? Hey, but at least Leia learned. What was the Selonian? At least Leia learned. At least Leia learned how to speak Selonian in I don't know, 2 days or something. So we had language in Star Wars. You had an alien language in Star Wars being used with Leia learning Selonian. And now that it was used once, do you want to see it used all the time? No, that would be boring, right? Not everybody's got to speak languages. That's really, really dumb. So there you go.
Now we have an annoying droid to tag along everywhere.
Yeah. And it's going to be also very convenient if that droid ever is out of order. My uncle... That makes it sound less creepy than it actually was, in my opinion. But that's just me. Exactly. So, Jason, he once again loses its pet snake. Okay. And Reyna, he has fruit juice that he likes to drink, and because that pet snake once again attacks Reyna, he dumps his own fruit juice over his head. Because I think Jason, Jaina, and Tenelka, they stole his fruit juice.
I think it was another table. A third table took their juice, and then he was like, "Hey, can you guys just ask next time you take our juice?" And then he was like,
Which
"Thank
is
you."
a fair question, by the way.
It's a genuine fair question. And then he, uses the Force to levitate his juice back to his table, and then he sees the snake on his lap, and then he's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And then drops the juice on himself.
Yeah. And this little occurrence causes a chain reaction that ends in a food fight. Because I don't know, Pico, you might have seen those stereotypical 90s and aughts movies that are in an American high school, and they always have a food fight. So obviously you're gonna have that, right? That's
I'm sure the 12 students that are here or something would definitely break out into a food fight because someone spilled juice on themselves.
Yeah. There was that one scene, at least, that was kind of amusing. It was Tenelka. Tenelka had no clue what was actually going on. she was like, all right, fuck it, I guess. She just takes her soup. She's like, okay, I'm gonna stick to my friends. I guess I don't know what's going on. Takes her soup and like throws it at Reyna's friends, which I mean isn't really nice either. But I was like, huh, yeah, that was kind of amusing. R2 is kind of relatable in this. He goes in like the cafeteria. He tries to interrupt. He gets hit by food, and then he just goes away again. Yeah, it's like, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna do this. The weird thing though, and I guess that's just stupid translation, is he gets like in German he gets called astromedizinischer Druide, which means like not an astromech, but an astromedical droid. Like, no, he's not. He's not a doctor.
That's got to just be a translation issue, right?
That's just a translation thing, but it was funny to me, so it's like, okay. Oh yeah. Jason gets hit by fruits, and maybe that's also a translation thing. So Jason gets hit by fruits, and in the German translation, it literally says that he's spitting angrily around him. That might just be because like spat is also like to, I guess, if you say something with a certain intonation, so maybe that's that. But in German it literally says he's spitting, like, ugh. So I guess maybe a translation thing. I don't know.
This whole scene's stupid anyway. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. It's not like the scene's going to be saved if that translation makes more sense. So fair enough.
Jason's just trying to catch his snake, and then he does, and then the snake tries to bite him, and then Luke shows up, and that's
yeah. Though we get introduced to another species that's at the academy. It's the Cha'a, or the Ka'a, or whatever, and they are a species that they still follow their eating traditions in the Praxium. So essentially, they have like eggs with little birds inside, and they wait until those birds hatch, just to then immediately eat them. Which is like, I mean, Luke is encouraging this because he's providing them with their food. It's like, that's kind of cruel for a Jedi in training to wait for little babies to hatch from their eggs and just immediately eat them afterwards. But there you go. That's a Jedi. That's the golden age of the Jedi for you. Luke comes in. He's like amused, I guess.
Was this the best, most challenging way that you could find to put your powers to use? And then he turns away and has like a grin, and it's like, instead, perhaps you can use your powers to clean up this mess. And if this scene wasn't stupid, that'd be a pretty nice line. But
yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't.
It is created because Jason is a fucking idiot and doesn't know how to make a lock.
Yep, it can't actually be that hard. Like, but oh well.
Just put it's a box. Just make a box with some holes and you're done.
Yep. But there you go. Chapter 6. Oh yeah, now I guess the thing that was on the cover was probably Loi's Skyhopper. So yeah, as a parting gift, Chewie leaves Loi behind with I think also a broken down Skyhopper. Oh no, I guess it's like built apart, like into its separate parts, and Chewie's like, yeah, if you manage to build it together, you can use it. I guess that's kind of dangerous though.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that, but that's kind of dangerous. Because what if he like, I mean, yeah, okay, he's a teenager, but like if he misconstructs it, then he's dead.
I'm just gonna assume he knows how to do this stuff because I don't want to think about it more.
I don't want to think about it more. That's like the Kevin experience in a nutshell. But yeah, the twins help him, mostly Jaina, obviously. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, Loi, like, as he's, I think, climbing around, just looking at things, he notices that there's an object sticking out of the trees, but he actually like does a rational decision and doesn't check out what's there because, like, we're kind of far away, nobody knows where we are. maybe we'll wait for that. So it's like, oh, he just memorizes the position and leaves again. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Chapter 7. Luke does a Luke thing, which is he goes away on an unspecified mission, meaning that Tion is teaching instead. If you read like the timeline, you've seen Tion in Junior Jedi Knights now. He's a pretty competent teacher most of the time.
Unfortunately, this is not the same person. So.
Yep. So she does her thing, which is she's singing a ballad, trying to like get her lessons across. And she also tells a story about how, learning alone isn't enough and you actually need practical experiences, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. I mean, it's like, I kind of think it works, but also like you're singing to teenagers, which is kind of weird. Like, if this was the first class, of like 6-year-olds, I think this would be less weird. But yeah, all of them were like mesmerized by it, so it was kind of a nice scene. It just doesn't make them look like teenagers.
By now, you should have somehow realized you got.
Look at this photograph. Wait, don't tell me this is the canon reason why Luke leaves.
I hope it is. I don't think it is, though.
Okay. Yeah. Chapter 8.
You forgot that she sung about the Dark Lords of the Sith.
Oh,
and just the plot to Dark Lords of the Sith. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. They.
Oh, and the leaf thing. Don't forget the leaf thing. Very important that they gotta practice lifting a leaf with the telekinesis.
Which to me sounds also like a first class thing, kind of.
Yeah, there is a reason I brought this up. I forgot. I don't know about this. Okay. Because Raynar, interrupts and asks, "How can you expect us to strengthen our skills if you take us back to a child's level?" Which is a legitimate question, right?
Yeah.
Jason rolled his eyes at Raynar's rudeness, but had to admit that he'd been wondering the same thing because he's a fucking idiot. So Jason, despite having the same question Raynar did, was like, I'm just gonna not ask that because why would I interrupt the class that is entire for learning about how to become Jedi with a question about why this helps become a Jedi.
You remember, like in school, you probably had everyone probably had the same experiences where your teachers begged the class to please raise their arms and ask any questions. Like, do you have anything literally to say? It's like, why is this treated as though it's a horrible crime to actually?
In university, we had this guy that would ask questions every class, and we called him Question Master. It's because it was always him asking the questions. So that doesn't mean he wasn't asking bad questions all the time. It was just funny that it was always him.
Yeah,
it's not like anyone hated him.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just you having fun with it.
Calling it rude is so fucking weird, man.
Now that I think about it,
it's her job.
Now that I think about it, Raynar is portrayed as though he's like the pompous school bully kind of. But I actually get the feeling that Jason is the school bully.
Yep.
Like Jason is ironically the bully. It's like there's just this kid who's like asking a very basic normal question about
one that he agrees with.
He even agrees with it, but he's still like, whatever. No, just let it flow out like the Force.
And then so TD1 says a good question
for another time.
Let me give you an example. If you want to strengthen your arms, you might lift many stones one at a time, or you might lift one stone many times. It's the same with Jedi skills, which I guess is an okay answer for that.
I can buy that enough. I'm like, okay, fine.
It's a bit weird when they've been here for a month and you're still doing that, but I mean,
yeah, kind of.
All they've done today is they showed up to class and then she sang a song about Master Voto's Seosk baths, and then it's like, yeah, go lift leaves. Oh wait, no, this is the next day actually. She sang a song about an unknown person, and then said go lift leaves.
Yeah, isn't that so great? Yeah, chapter 8. There really isn't a lot to say. The group they go back into the forest to look for what Lowy actually found before. And
they already fixed the T-23. Don't forget that part.
Oh yeah, true. There was this point made about how they're not splitting up too far from each other to not get lost, which is like, hey, that's a smart thing, I guess. Good on you. And oh yeah, so they do find something, and it's a crashed down TIE fighter. So I was like, okay, sure, that can lead into many different directions. Maybe that's going to be interesting. Spoiler: it's not, but it almost was.
There's like almost real ideas here.
Exactly. Well, there you go. Hello, Marcel. Hope you had a great weekend so far. We're talking about Young Jedi Knight, so obviously you know we had a great one.
Marcel did an awesome live stream yesterday where he read.
I saw that. Yeah, the
Mos Eisley
live
Cantina.
reading, right?
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah. We're also having a very fun live stream, aren't we not, Pico?
Yeah. We're dissecting a book.
Party.
Learning some basic writing skills, like when you say establish something for a character, it is established for that character.
That's kind of crazy, but sure, if you believe that.
Like when you establish that Jason is a moron, he's still a moron. Yeah,
exactly. It actually doesn't change in the future unless you say that it's changed.
Even if you say he's actually like really smart and stuff, it's not true because we've already seen that it's not true.
What? That's crazy. But we shall see. Maybe there's that that switch flip moment where it's like, oh, Jason.
I swear, lightsabers was good. at least much more fun. You just got to make it to the fourth book. I believe in you.
It's certainly a task. We'll see, man. I'm just at the beginning of the last ones, and well, we'll see. Lightsaber. So yeah, as I understood, that's supposed to be the ironically good one. So I am kind of looking.
It's got good elements. There's characters, and you're like, "Whoa, where did this come from?" And then the next one comes up, and you're like, "Ah, there's my Kevin. There he is,
our boy, Kevin." Huh. Okay. Chapter 9. Oh yeah, Jaina explains like TIE stands for 2 ionic engines. And that made me kind of realize, oh yeah, I guess I never wondered what exactly TIE even stands for. So there you go. That's what it's supposed to mean. Jaina, she of course wants to repair that starfighter. I mean, which is like, I guess, cool as an idea, but it's like, you're teenagers. You probably should be prohibited from having like deadly aircraft around kids. That's just a me thing, though. I don't know what your opinion is, but
that's a bit of a hot take, you know.
Yeah.
Only Jane is allowed to have deadly weapons, not the academy teachers or something. Or
oh yeah, true. Obviously, Jaina, like just at this moment, Jaina became more armed than literally everybody in the academy. And I'm sure, like, if some random kid asked, "Hey, can I have a TIE fighter?" Luke would probably say, like, "No, the fuck are you?" But because it's his niece, I think there's a bit of nepotism going on in the Jedi Academy. Call me crazy. Right. Yeah, maybe she's gonna become a famous vlogger on YouTube. She can put up how to repair a TIE fighter 101. I mean, there's gotta be like a YouTube equivalent in Star Wars, right? Where people are like explaining, hey, this is how you build your own Death Star. Maybe Jaina can become a successful influencer. Who knows? Yeah, and oh yeah, apparently the actual pilot of that TIE fighter, who which dropped down during the Battle of Yavin, is still alive, and he's gone insane during survival, and he's just repeating to himself like a capitulation would be treason. Yeah. Okay. So,
Or surrender is betrayal, which is the exact same meaning. It's just the exact line in English.
Yeah, exactly.
For the people that are watching at home,
Exactly. I'm just freely I'm actually reading the German edition, so yeah. Yeah, there you go. I actually I actually don't know anything, like mostly at least, what's going on in Young Jedi Knight. So when I read that, okay, an actual survivor from Battle of Yavin, I'm like, there probably shouldn't be a way that this guy has survived, or like has not been found by anybody yet. But
not devoured by piranha beetles.
Exactly, yeah, or crystal snakes, I guess. Though, that's foreshadowing for later. But I was like, this sounds like a cool concept, kind of. So I was like, okay, I'll give this a chance. This could be a thing. Yeah, but the thing is, it's kind of the equivalent of a Japanese soldier like dropping onto Pearl Harbor, surviving, and then he's just hanging around Hawaii and nobody notices. That's kind of the feel. Like, he's not in Japan, right? Somewhere. But
I think that guy was in China or the South China Sea or something.
oh, there was. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just like a general sense, not that there's
no. This is a real story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and eventually he wouldn't give up the fight, so they actually brought his old commander and told him the war is over, and to Adi's soldier. It's actually a really interesting story.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty cool story, actually. That's I didn't know about that, so there you go. Coral isn't there. Oh yeah, I heard that wasn't that like a retcon or something? I've heard about this, yeah, but I mean,
yes,
I haven't read them.
It was not the original intent. I want to make that clear now. It was not the original intent to be that character from the Marvel comics.
What was that, like a Pena thing or something?
I think it may have been a Kevin thing, actually, but one of the Kevin source books he just.
I apologize, Pena. I didn't mean to insult you. There you go. Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. I can check while you're going off.
The Day After the Death Star, it's apparently called. So.
Well, that's the Marvel comic.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I think it's the Essential Chronology that does it. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like the place you do a thing like this. So, might be. Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it is. Yeah, looks like that's the oh wait, Star Wars Encyclopedia. It may have been that one.
Okay.
Or at least he's mentioned in it, but that just might be Coral, the guy from Young Jedi Knights, instead of changing the.
Oh, by the way, wait. I just saw this. I have to. This can't be. Is this actually
the official Star Wars fact file? Yeah, 98.
90. Okay.
Oh wait.
This is actually. Is that Alana Solo with a pet Nexu?
Yes, it is. I was wrong. Not 98. 2002. 2002 is when it was.
Oh well, there you go then. So quite a bit after the fact.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure everybody like in that year, like what was it, 2002, was asking like, who was that one soldier in that Archie Goodwin comic back in the day?
I think what happened was, this is like right after the Marvel series got put into S canon, because people kept referencing it. So Leland Shee was just like, you know what, fine, here, shove it into S canon for now, and I'll deal with it later.
I think that work broke this man. I think Leland Shee is like, he was like held hostage for a few years. make this work.
Yeah. So that's probably where this came from.
Okay, well there you go. You learn something new every day. Chapter 10. Oh yeah. So while Jaina's repairing the ship, we actually get a specific description of in which direction Jaina's ass is pointing. In German they use, I think they use the term Gesäß, which is supposed to be like a less crude word, but it's still like weird. I don't need to know where Jaina's ass is pointing while she's repairing the TIE fighter. Thank you very much, Kevin.
I'm just gonna assume that the idea was just showing that she was upside down working underneath the thing.
I guess so.
Because sure. I don't want to read it.
You don't want to think further. I understand. Yeah.
We do get another shitty Jason joke though. If you want to hear it.
I really don't, but shoot.
Okay, so this one goes to Tenoka. You know, Jason says, "What goes ha 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 thump?" And it's a droid laughing its head off. Yeah, perfect timing. Perfect timing. Ha ha ha.
Hello. Then, I just wanted to jump in to explain more about the day after the Death Star retcon, because it's hilarious if you think about it, if you know the comic.
Yes, I know the comic.
Qual's backstory, yeah. So Qual's backstory is it's the day after the Death Star. Luke is going out because he's so victorious. He's feeling great. And he's fighting one TIE fighter that's like left after the battle. And they fight. He shoots him down. And then Quarrel is knocked out. And that's how the story ends. So this retcon implies after the fight where Quarrel was knocked out and Luke was standing there and decided to let him live, Luke just left him. I want to point that out. Luke just left him, this Imperial pilot on Yavin 4, in the woods, and just, yeah, that was it.
I really get this feeling that a lot of Star Wars authors didn't understand that you don't need to tell us information to convey information about characters. Like, this tells us something about Luke, the fact that he's just left him there. It means he's really, really stupid.
I mean, no, the original intent was in the comic that he decides to let his enemy live because he realized it's just like a young guy and yada, yada, yada. But the retcon then establishes, that, oh yeah, no, he didn't like take him into custody or anything, like left him alive, but obviously, no, he just left him in the woods. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin, yeah. I wouldn't have survived without it, without that information, so there you go.
Qual. Yeah. He's gonna return. Also, keep in mind, this means he was on Yavin 4 for literally every story, like since New Hope.
Yes.
Oh yeah, in Darksaber, as like Dala was about to destroy that whole fucking
and Jedi Outcast.
He would have
Sun
seen,
and the reborn Jedi attacked. You know,
he would have seen the giant Super Star Destroyer in the sky, but you know that's fine.
Maybe he was asleep.
I mean, I'm sure if that thing like crashes into Yavin, that's not gonna create a big explosion. So you know, like nothing happened to him, obviously. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, I have nothing.
And remember, Darksaber is being written at the same time as these, so that is in fact a legitimate problem with this book.
Yeah,
Darksaber is probably written first, to be honest, because it's an adult book and it took longer to make.
Yeah, and in the Young Jedi Knights books, they were written as quickly as possible because Kevin and his wife were under a lot of pressure to just pump these out.
Poor Kevin. Sure, he did his best.
Yeah.
So let's just go on. I guess we ended on a great
banger joke. It was wonderful. You know, the droid laughing its head off because the droid it loses his head and it says thump.
Did you guys even mention that the translator droid is literally a mini C-3PO?
Not yet. I was saving that for when he was stuck in the woods, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing I'm gonna complain about later because it's actually not gonna make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all, actually.
Yeah, but like later, it's actually impacting the outcome of the story. So I was also gonna save that for like.
We skipped over the scene in the cafeteria where he's like mistranslating Loey.
Yeah, because that just seemed
because it's stupid. But
yeah, it's like, haha. I guess that's funny. I guess it's supposed to be funny.
He's trying to flower it up or something. I don't know why he would do that.
That's kind of
going to be a translator.
Yeah, but 3PO made sure to have part of his personality in there, which now just doesn't make sense, but later is actually gonna save the group, which makes it that much more horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna leave that for Shadow Academy, because that's where it actually gets important. But I'm sure that nobody realized that it got kind of important out of the blue. So there you go. Cool. Yeah, we're just gonna continue on. Noah, if you wanna, you can stay on, or you can.
I'm gonna hang
riff.
around a bit muted. If there's something
Yep.
interesting, I'm gonna jump back in. But I'm drawing Indiana Jones right now. I want to get this finished.
Nice.
Sounds like more fun than talking about Kevin. I don't know why though.
Tunnel calls about the fake laugh and then goes back to work at the Jason joke. So
yeah,
he's like,
that's
ha ha ha, that's funny. It's a joke. Anyway.
Yeah, chapter 10. Let's just go further. Yeah, so Jaina, she thinks about the hyperdrive that she was gifted for a reason. And because she's like, I might build this into the TIE fighter. And that it just kind of made me think. So they kind of wondered, like, why didn't regular TIE fighters ever had a hyperdrive? Fair question. Yeah, why didn't they? They had a theory that regular TIEs had none, because the additional weight of the hyperdrive would cost them their agility, which in theory is believable. But then but Jaina is able to carry around that hyperdrive just with her hands, so it can't be that heavy. And I don't believe that minuscule amount of weight is gonna seriously decrease the agility of a TIE fighter. So I kind of don't buy that. Yeah, and I think they had I think there was a theory. I think Jason had that. And it makes more sense to me that they didn't build in any hyperdrives into regular TIE ships to discourage deserters from trying to escape, which makes more sense to me, because I'm like, okay, the most basic conscripted soldier is gonna get a TIE fighter, and the first thing he's probably gonna try is to just escape. So it makes sense, yeah. The ships for the regular Joes in the academy, or in the Empire, that has no means of escaping, and then later on they're probably gonna be loyal enough that they won't try to escape. So I buy that more, but I actually believe the original intent is no, it's actually too heavy, and that the hyperdrive isn't supposed to be something that you can just carry around with you. But yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, and now we had a big Kevinism moment. So while they're there, Jason finds a little path that has been created because it's been constantly walked on, and so it just kind of naturally developed. Jason follows that path. He knows he shouldn't go too far from the group, but he does it anyway. Okay, I feel like I've said this a million times with Kevin. If characters realize the mistakes they're about to make, but make them anyway, that doesn't make the characters smart. It actually makes them really, really stupid.
You got Canon Thrawn happening here.
Yeah, it makes them more stupid than if they never realized they made a mistake. If you just genuinely didn't think about it, then okay, that's something that can happen. But you're like, I shouldn't do this, and I'm doing it anyway. That's not smart. That's more stupid. Please don't do that ever.
Isn't he following a leaf bug in this case?
I don't know if he was. I just got the feeling he found a path that look, okay, it looks like somebody has walked over here 1,000 times, and that's how kind of this natural path was developed. And now he's like, okay, I'm gonna just follow it. I'm not sure if he followed an animal. Might be, perhaps. But even then, he realizes I shouldn't follow this path anymore. And he does it anyway. Yeah. So he walks away anyway, and he finds the hiding spot of that TIE pilot, of Coral. And instead of going instead of just quickly and naturally returning, pretending that he didn't see a thing, he runs back to the group. He yells like a maniac, hey, the TIE pilot is here, get away. And then of course the TIE pilot is there watching them. It's just like, okay, yeah, fuck you. And then he jumps out of his hiding spot and threatens them with a blaster. It's the same thing literally that Kip Durran did in Darksaber. It's like, if you just pretend everything's natural, there's a good chance you're just gonna get out of this. If this guy's here and you're yelling, "Hey, the TIE fighter," like the pilot, he's actually still here and he's alive, there's a higher likelihood that he's just gonna come out and get you. So, but yeah, otherwise the rest of the story wouldn't happen, obviously. So yeah, the pilot comes out, blaster in hand, and he's like, "Yeah," he says that blaster is still loaded, and I'm like, it's been over 20 years. You might have occasionally used that blaster to like shoot wild animals. I don't believe you. Like, even if you don't use a phone after 20 years, the phone is like, I don't know. Is it crazy to believe that a blaster like wouldn't survive for 20 years without just being empty at some point? That's my thought. But yeah. Oh yeah, of course nobody, like no one of them is armed. They don't have lightsaber training yet, so nobody has a lightsaber. They also don't have blasters or anything else.
This reminds me of something funny that's gonna happen in the Denningverse.
Oh no.
9-year-old Alana Solo gets a blaster that she carries around all the time.
I mean,
After she murdered a dozen Sith Lords.
I mean, I guess if she's gonna like walk around and do stupid things like that, that makes at least more sense than just, yep, go out there, I guess. I mean, what's the worst that could happen with that monster we had back in chapter 3? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, what possible threat could there be in a giant uncharted forest where big rabbit monsters are running around while Luke is away, obviously?
It's still uncharted. We've been on this planet for like 15 years.
Yeah. But they obviously don't care. So why
we have
should
been
you?
under attack like 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
There was Darla, there was the sun, but
Mm-hmm. Yep. But oh well, what's the worst that could happen, right?
and there was the
Yep.
Disciples of Ragnos.
Of course,
so yeah,
there
3
were.
times.
Yeah, no, it's actually good that children are allowed to just walk around the forest without adults checking if like the forests are actually secure. That's really responsible of them. Chapter 11. Yeah. So the pilot, yeah, he starts shooting, so the blaster is working. I don't buy that, but there you go. Yeah, I'm like, okay, Lowy. I think Lowy has the best chance of escaping because, like, I feel like he could have just jumped onto, like, onto a tree or something, because like Lowy has like faced very dangerous predators before. Like, I mean, that was part of his, trial of maturity or whatever you want to call it. So I don't believe that he's that scared that he can't do anything. And specifically like Cole focused on Tenel Ka. So, but like as he started shooting, so I'm like, okay, you can get away actually, but okay. Jason and Jaina. So both of them, they first tried to use Jedi mind tricks on that guy. And they realized that they don't work because he's been conditioned so extremely that it blocks him from being like a victim of mind control. And to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because if we remember, like in the very first piece of Star Wars media, like in the first movie, Obi-Wan's just using a Jedi mind trick on, like, on a high-ranking stormtrooper, and it works. And that stormtrooper is probably conditioned as well. I mean, it was the high time of the Empire. He was basically, I mean, this guy was basically like introduced into the Star Wars universe like at the same point in the timeline. That's like, if you just say they are not good enough with the Force yet to use the Jedi mind trick, I would buy that. But like him,
they can just do that. It's fine.
Yeah, but like him being resistant to it, I don't buy that. Yeah. So they both try telekinesis, and it doesn't even work like for a bit. So they can't pull his blaster out of his hand. They can't even make him like redirect his shots as he's trying to fire at them, which I buy even less. what have you learned actually if you're not able to do something? I don't buy that he has enough physical strength to just fight against the Force. Like, you see, now it seems like you've angered a few people in the Star Wars community. Do you have anything to respond to that fella?
Touch grass.
There you go, Sivat. Now what you gonna do? Yeah, there you go. So telekinesis also
Make
doesn't
another
work.
vegan dinner.
Hey, he was doing it for girls. I understand.
But he
yeah.
still ended up with a man.
Apparently, he's a cool dude.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. He at least tried, you know. So there you go. You didn't try.
There is no try, as Kevin would say in his books.
Obviously, yeah, because I remember that one quote. Yeah. So Loey, he kind of almost escapes. But he's like, okay, I have a skyhopper. So he goes back to his skyhopper. He's like, I'm the one who could probably take on this guy because I'm in a ship. Yeah, and the pilot he like starts to shoot at him, like at the skyhopper, and then suddenly like Jaina tries to reach out with the Force again, and it redirects the shot of the pilot because I think he was about to like hit something very important, and it redirects the shot like to the fuel tank, I think. And yeah, Loey escapes, but like his ship, I think, is like losing. I mean, it's on fire basically. He's about to die more or less, and Jaina and Jason are now prisoners of this guy. Yeah, I think this entire sequence was really, really dumb, and it could have been prevented at like 5 different moments. I don't know if you had if you even had any thoughts about this, Pico, but I was kind of annoyed by it. I don't know. It was not necessary to make it this weird, but there you go. Sure, but the book doesn't say that it's because they are just bad at the Force, which I would buy. Like, if it's just, okay, yeah, they're not good at the Force, and that's the reason. It's like, yeah, I buy that they are teenagers. But they just say they're not able to manipulate his mind because he's been conditioned so much. And then I don't think there was any reason given that they're not good with telekinesis. I guess it didn't work.
They all honestly seem way too good for their age already.
Yeah, exactly that's what I say. Like, if you were to say they aren't good enough, like they can't do those things yet that would get them out of fear. It's like, yeah, okay, I buy that. That's probably the case. But if you're gonna show them like be able to do these things, then you're gonna have to give like a good reason why they can't do it. Fabe, I won't put up your messages. I don't get what you're saying. So I'm literally like that guy from that stupid copy pasta. I literally don't understand what you're saying. So yeah, chapter 12. Loey, he has to perform an emergency landing, and yeah, then he's like just climbing around afterwards. Oh yeah, at some point he loses his translator droid and he doesn't realize it.
Oh no.
Yeah, boo-hoo. I'm so sad. And that translator droid is just like he's just, he's around. I think I'm to understand like MTD is like a belt that he's wearing around him, and at some point that belt just, I guess, opens and falls down, and MTD is like whimpering silently as he's falling down. Like, why are you whimpering? Why don't you yell at the top of, I mean, not your lungs, I guess, but like that thing was programmed by C3PO. That's what we get. So I guess this is kind of the first time this works against this. It's been programmed by 3PO to kind of resemble his own personality. 3PO would yell like a maniac if he just fell down. So, but hey, we gotta establish that Loey, like, that doesn't have that droid anymore, I guess.
He loses it because we need an extra chapter or two.
Exactly. I mean, I guess that's better than it actually having like a long-term impact, because that would just make it even more stupid. But yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, he has like a flashback to his test of courage that he had on Kashyyyk, which I mean, I guess was fine. Like, I had nothing to say about that. He makes it back all the way to the Praxium, and he tries to tell Tion like, hey, you know, Jason and Jaina have been kidnapped, but she doesn't understand anything. And then he realizes, oh, my translator's gone.
If only there was something called paper in the Star Wars universe, he could like,
Yeah.
write something down as to what happened.
Yep. Or like they have established that there are aliens on the Praxium. Not all of them are going to speak basic, right? So they already should have like translator droids around.
Oh no, the teachers just speak every language except Shriwook.
Yeah,
obviously. I mean, that's an unimportant language.
I like how Lowie could literally just have like made a drawing.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like even if you're just like, playing pantomime and you're like, oh wait, here, this is what happened. It's not that hard to describe. I feel like people like, hey, my friends are being held at gunpoint. It's not that hard. And
all he should have done. Oh my god,
over there.
All he would have needed to do is like a pantomime of like with his fingers make like a gun.
Yeah.
And, like an angry face, and then like, yeah.
Exactly. And then like go on his knees, like hands behind his head, like, okay, somebody has a gun. And I guess since you're the only one here, Jason and Jaina are the ones who like taken prisoner. Yeah, kind of. I mean, he's stupid because like the fact that he just didn't yell while Lowie lost him, there's no reason.
I just had the image in my head. What if he just starts doing the I'm Han Solo dance from Star Wars Connection?
That I would have respected that more than what we've gotten. So a missed opportunity, actually. Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, in Shadow Academy, he becomes like really annoying for no reason. Like it actually doesn't influence anything. So it makes me scratch my head why that was even a thing. And he wasn't really in the Lost ones so far.
You will enjoy what happens to the droid in New Jedi Order.
I hope I will, yeah. Oh, there you go, Fabi. When you speak English, you're kind of like making sense. Yeah.
Here's the computer that he is about to go to right now.
But yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. It's not that. I mean, you can't explain like elaborate plots with charade, but like you can explain that. It's not that difficult, actually. Yeah, there you go. Chapter 13. Oh yeah, back in her home, Tenelka used to drink something called Hapis beer. I mean, I didn't need any more reasons to hate Hapis even more than I did, but underage drinking, I guess, is a thing. So there you go. Thanks, Kevin. I guess maybe we understand each other. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, they for some reason they didn't translate the clan name of Dathomir. So like Singing Mountain Clan is the English name, and I think I remember them translating it to like literally the German name in Courtship.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know why. Like there is a German name, just use it. But okay, whatever. Yeah, Tenelka, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to rely on her wealth, because we realized that she's somebody wealthy. Surprise! I mean, I knew who Tenelka was, so that wasn't surprising.
But don't you like the secret princess trope in here?
But what does this? What does this accomplish? Hiding your identity at the Jedi Academy.
Yeah, and like
Corrin did it. He had a reason to do it because he had actual enemies that were going to find him. Like Brackus, the Imperial spy that was right there at the Jedi Academy. Whereas in this case, what does Tenelka have to gain?
I guess the books explain her only thing is she wants to be treated like just a normal person and not like royalty. Which
the thing is, she's not revealing that to both Jason and Jaina. Like they are like the family members of the biggest heroes of the entire galaxy.
Their mom literally rules the galaxy.
Their mom rules the galaxy. Their
uncle is the fucking
is the last
boss.
of the actual Jedi. Their father is like a big hero. Like, you're not gonna impress them like, oh, you know this backwater like War of the Roses place that's in there. So, yeah, I'm the princess of it. It's like, okay, cool. Good to know.
Habis is a fucking shithole anyway.
Yeah. The fact, Fabi, that you have more spelling mistakes in this sentence that I can count even makes me realize that no, it's probably not. There you go. Yeah, I mean, Luke actually describes it as a shithole place, which is kind of based. Like, okay, well, there you go. But that's gonna come in later, so we'll wait. Yeah, so she doesn't. Okay, so she says she doesn't want other students to refer to her differently because of her status. For other students, that's, I guess, something I could buy.
Wait, is it already established in this book? Because Reyna is also from a wealthy family.
Yes.
From
Yes,
Alderaan.
it is.
Oh, yep.
We didn't know he was from Alderaan yet, but
Okay.
all we know is that he's from wealthy family and he's got status. That's because he wears robes, of course.
Yeah, no, we know that that Reyna is wealthy in some way. We just don't know why.
And also a total asshole because he has the audacity to tell Jason to move his zoo out of his room and into an actual zoo outside.
And because he asks questions about classes, which I guess is not something you're supposed to do in school nowadays. So well, there you go. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, like her not wanting to be addressed differently. I thought that it was kind of nice to show that she's modest. But now that I think about it, it doesn't make sense that she behaves in front of Jason and Jaina that way. But yeah.
I mean, I can buy her not telling them because she knows the Solo twins are assholes and they would tell everybody.
I mean, if that was the canon reason, I could respect that. Sorry, Alex. I'm gonna be there to talk about Cape Shit. Don't you worry. It's not gonna take that much longer.
Well, okay, Alex. It takes one sentence, right, to say something really stupid. It then takes 19 minutes to explain why that sentence is fucking retarded.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
oftentimes that'll happen. You know?
Think back to like a very cool scene that you remember from anything. Like the first thing I just kind of remembered is Luke looking at the twin suns in A New Hope. That scene tells so much.
It's
like
about
you're not able
20
to tell.
seconds, right?
Yeah, it's not like Luke just looking. Yeah, maybe like 10 seconds, 15, maybe 20 even. I don't know. But like it says so much that it's like, yeah, you can talk a lot longer about the scene that the scene actually takes. So, I mean, hey, hyperspace war in The Last Jedi, that takes like 5 seconds. You can talk a lot longer than 5 seconds about this. So yeah, but it won't take that much longer, I'm sure. Yes. So she's hurt, kind of, and yeah, I like that moment where Tanaka kind of admits she kind of feels, I guess, about lying to them. I'm not sure if that was I think that was kind of the reason why she felt that way. It's like she's usually very stoic. I mean, that's all we get from Tanaka up to this point, basically. And so it was like, oh, she actually kind of does consider other people's feelings. And one of her first concerns even is like, oh, what would Jason think? I guess like when I tell him everything about this, and how she thinks, he'd probably
fucking care.
Yeah, it's like he'd probably crack a joke, which I mean is true. That might be what he's gonna do. But yeah, hey, it like all of that, like her lying about her heritage, it made her, like, it impacted her enough to at least think about it at that moment. So there you go. I'm actually like, at some point we could do something about Superman, but not now. I'm gonna be in VC later. We can talk about Superman all day long. And yeah, that's the first time I've seen Noah back to make something about Cape Shit. So there you go. I don't think
know if that was the point. Yeah.
No. Because we talked about this a few minutes ago. Jason is clearly supposed to be shown as like the relatable kid at school, but he kind of gives off a bully vibe. Like he's using his status to hold dangerous pets, and he thinks people are stupid if they point it out to him.
Again, Sith Jason planned all along.
True. If you were gonna say like that were the like first seeds of Sith Jason being planted, it's like okay, yeah, fair enough, I guess. Yeah, I guess. No, fair enough. Like him being a zookeeper, that's also his other character trait.
He's got 2 of them, okay?
Exactly.
Zookeeper.
Be fair, Sivat. But there you go. Yeah.
No,
oh,
3.
Yeah,
He also likes Channel K. That's the 3rd one.
True. And he totally doesn't, but he maybe does. Yeah.
I was just thinking how much Alex is gonna cry when you guys don't like the Jason Tanaka romance.
I've actually told this Pico. I'm not gonna be surprised if I end up really not liking Tanaka and actually liking Danny Quee instead. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I'm really honest. Because, yeah, I've been gaslit enough about this universe. So
don't you see how important Young Jedi Knights is for New Jedi Order already?
Obviously, yeah. I can see.
You get so much characterization for the Solo children and their friends.
I was about to say, can't wait for Alex Manifesto once he finds out that you dislike. I don't think he cares that much, but yeah. There you go. Yeah, and Tanaka, she gets attacked by some monster, and she has like glowing firewood, and she attacks them with it, and then escapes. It's like, I mean, I guess that's the smartest thing you could have done, but you also just could have had weapons. But oh well. Chapter 14. Oh yeah, so you kind of get a description about how the surviving TIE pilot Coral built himself like a little refuge. They got a bit technical, and that was like, kind of cool.
Sorry, I just read Alex's comment.
Can I for one say how glad I'm that a gay Adam? Wait. Okay.
I mean, it kind of got used in different ways with.
This is the second time that somebody mentioned gay Jason animal thing. I thought this was just is this a thing?
Jason, he has a hand for. We know this since Crystal Star.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, like, was it? Oh no, I guess he just insults Jason being an animal whisperer as being okay. No, forget. I thought there was literally going to be something about one of his animals being gay or something. So
no.
It doesn't sound like the most unbelievable thing.
Alex, I will say I like how this is used in New Jedi Order when he's using like the Yuuzhan Vong life forms. I'm just gonna say without spoiling too much.
Well, there you go. Yes. Okay, so then, and that's gonna be a thing for Cole. There's like there's some remains of humanity within him. So occasionally he has like lucid moments where he kind of thinks honestly about what's happening. And I guess you could say, if you want to really stretch the meaning of it, it pays off in Shadow Academy. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, he's like kind of there when the plot needs him to be.
And it was great in Crystal Star because
like
he becomes friends with a dragon.
Alex, you say like everything. Does that also include Star by Star? Something to think about. Yeah, so obviously what Coral wants is for Jason and Jaina to repair his ship for him so he can escape back to the Empire. I mean, yeah, kind of what do you expect. And yeah, they're only restrained around their hands. Which like means to me if that guy inevitably goes to sleep at one point, because there's only one guy, they could just run away. And there's gonna be no reason provided on why they don't.
Because they're stupid.
They're stupid, yeah. I mean,
and they don't remember which direction they came from with the ship, even though they would clearly know where they came from. And you just follow that same path because they went straight from the temple.
Yep.
And they're not that far because you can see it from the trees at the temple. But
yeah. Oh well, but But Pico, have you considered that we do need the rest of the plot to happen?
I haven't considered that. Now that you mention it, I see the logic here.
Yeah, true. So, chapter 15. I only have like one sentence for chapter 15. Which
Me
is
too.
The droid gets captured by the Woolamander.
I said Woolomanders harass MTD while he's stuck in a tree.
That sounds like a weird Star Wars porn plotline. Yeah. Yep. That's really all there's said. Chapter 16. Yeah, the twins, they're repairing the ship. Jason finds something that will help them, and we don't know what it is yet, but we'll know, and it's as stupid as you're imagining. There is that moment which is like kind of nice where, you know, Jaina really, like, they are talking to Cor, and Jaina really presses him on whether, you know, oh, do you have any family? Don't you want to return to them instead of the Empire? And it kind of makes him uncomfortable, but we don't learn anything about his family, so that's where we left off.
The Empire is his family, is what he says.
Obviously. Or
Family.
maybe Vin Diesel is his family. Yeah, who knows?
The Mandalorians are his family.
I mean, wouldn't you want the, like, you know, the third side of the two-sided conflict being your family?
God.
I would like that. Sounds really cool. Chapter 17. Yeah, Lowy is at the academy and he can't speak to Tion. It's like, you have alien students. There should be protocol droids like running around everywhere. Shut up.
He's the only Wookiee in the place.
Yeah, the only species in the place that can't speak basic. That's just how it happens. But yeah, but he at least has one good idea, which is, okay, I'm gonna literally call Han because he at least understands.
He's literally right there.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. At least he had the spirit.
Yeah, probably.
I don't disbelieve you.
Yeah.
That isn't a good thing in this case, but I could see that. Yeah.
Oh, he's pretty awesome in the later diversity and
Yeah,
balance arc.
because he fights racism.
Yeah. And he resists being a simp
Yeah.
because his girlfriend tries to get him into a neo-Nazi cult.
He resists being a simp and he fights for human supremacy. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That's fantastic. That's all I ever wanted from fucking Star Wars. There you go. Exactly. So, oh yeah. So he calls Han. Han translates back everything to Tion, obviously. And yeah, nobody else. So Han says like, okay, I'm gonna come back to Yavin 4. And meanwhile, like, nobody does anything. Like, they just wait.
They just wait for Han.
They just wait for Han to arrive. Like, do you have
They don't know
Jedi
what to do.
Masters around? Like, can they search for them?
No, only Tion. Only Tion's here.
Even Tion, like, okay, like the
Where is Ikrit?
Where is Ikrit?
Where
Is
is
Ikrit
Ikrit?
on vacation?
Where is? Yeah, true.
That's a really good question.
Or was
Ikrit
it?
should be there. Where is Cam Solusa? Where is Corran? Where is Kyle Katarn?
Where is
I
Kirana
don't think
T?
Kyle
Where is
existed
Green?
yet, so I don't think that's the fault of this book.
Okay.
But still, like, where's Dreen? Where's Kirana T? Where's
We know
Mars
Mars is in
82,
prison.
I guess.
Yeah, Mara's in prison. You're right.
Mara's in prison.
And
And this
Luke's trying to
academy
get
really
around.
has the worst teachers.
Yeah, Mara got
ever.
busted for a DUI or something cool. That's always what I always
Yeah,
wanted to
Luke's
hear.
trying to bust her out, so that makes sense why he's not there. All the other Kevin OCs though, they should be here. Where's fucking Kip?
Oh, Kip is also
he's
busy.
very important. Obviously, he's doing something. It
I think
probably
he actually shows up later in one of the books.
He does, and
no.
and it implies that Han and Kip haven't seen each other since JAT.
That's so based. Thank you.
Because Han goes, I heard you did something, blah blah blah, and he basically just explains the plot of Leviathan, and he's like, yeah, that happened a while ago.
Oh, I almost thought you were gonna say like the reason. He gives the reason why he hasn't met them, and that's because like what he did at the end of Champions of the Force. Now I'm kind of disappointed. Still.
No, that one's based because the Diversity Alliance are the bad guys.
It's yeah. I mean, that's something I must give Kevin. He was kind of prophetic about today's day and age. So it's just a bunch of weird people.
He may be a terrible writer, but a pretty based person, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally buy that. He has weird tastes, but
He sounds like a chill dude, like in person.
yeah, probably. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, there are I guess no fully trained Jedi Knights who can do anything at all. We're
They're
just
all
kind of
busy.
waiting for Han Solo to arrive. Cool. I'm sure he has those skills that no other Jedi could ever have.
Like a
I
ship.
mean, he can talk to Wookiees.
He can't talk to Wookiees. He has a ship. Yeah, a ship is obviously something you would never want to have on Yavin 4. Something
And
we'll
those are
talk.
his fucking children. It's not like the Jedi care.
Yeah, it's something we'll talk a lot about next week with Shadow Academy. I can't wait for that. Chapter 18. Yeah, the tie is repaired. The twins are spared, but Call wants to attack the quote rebel outpost, which of course is the Praxium. Jaina is like, please, the Academy. Oh yeah, please don't. The Academy, no weapons.
Yeah, has
Kevin, fuck you. Why has the Academy?
Is this just
No
Is this just in here because it's a reference to Leia's line on the Death Star?
I probably.
Probably, but it's also a factually correct statement. They literally don't have a single weapon.
Oh my god, this reminds me. So I just recorded the part in my chronology video series about Young Jedi Knights. And in his summary, because this is taken from Kevin's old Essential Chronology, he literally states, after the events of this first 6-book story arc, Luke was annoyed that he had to install like security measures and shit.
Oh my god. Fucking
He said
stupid.
the text literally says he was also annoyed with having like to install communications because he would have preferred
They have communications. It's in Leviathan.
Yeah, but Luke is
in
annoyed
this
by
book.
that.
Lowy just
He wants to be completely separate from everyone.
It's so stupid. How can you make Luke like? Don't they understand?
I would also like to point out this is the 4th time the Academy is attacked. If we count this one separate, it's the 5th time at the end of the story arc. But Luke is annoyed with the idea, hey, maybe we need some weapons to defend ourselves on here. Maybe we need cell phones or something so we can call Han and Leia whenever we need help.
Crazy thought. I know. It's so stupid.
That's based.
Oh. I actually imagine Kevin was actually jacked and he came onto Star Wars Theory's other channel to talk about how to get buff and get laid or something. I would honestly respect that.
The only author who would do that is James Luceno because he's actually fucking
lived.
buff.
Yeah, he's lived shit.
Yeah.
That's cool actually. Yeah, I mean, I like the Star Wars Theory streams with Mauler recently because Mauler's on there and Brian Kimmel was there as well.
Because Ryan knows some stuff and Mauler knows writing and Theory is just like this coping optimistic guy, and it's actually really nice balance that we're going. But
it's actually entertaining. Yeah. True. I mean, I haven't considered that, so you bring up a good point there. Thanks, Alex, once again. Yeah. So yeah, the Academy has no weapons. Fuck you, Kevin. And yeah, he flies away. Okay. Chapter 19. Tanel Kao, she's still on the run. She has trouble, utilizing the Force to her advantage. Now she's wondering why she hasn't trained her Force powers even more.
Excellent question.
That's a good question, actually, because it's a good decision to be I should know the Force, but really only utilize it when I need it. So, I should be able to manage normal tasks with only my body strength. Because, yeah, sure, fair enough. But that also means you still have to train your Force powers to be excellent at them.
But she's got a grappling hook, so she's cool.
She has a grappling hook. That's true. Okay. It makes sense. Okay, yeah, she has one strength and now she has one weakness, but she ideally shouldn't have. Yeah, but yeah, by chance she finds a bunch of Woolamander, and with the Woolamander is also MTD, and he guides her back to the Praxium.
Yeah, because he has a flashlight apparently installed in his brain.
I mean, wouldn't you want to have that?
And I wrote down what he said. Hold on. So Tenoka was like, okay, we're gonna have to camp here for the night because it's way too dark to climb up the tree and look where the great temple is. which begs the question: where the fuck was she going before? Because she just happened to run into MTD here. But anyway, and then MTD was like, "Wait a second, is the dark bothering you? Why didn't you say so? You know, I have all these different sensors." And then just turns on a light switch, and now you,
yeah, exactly. I agree.
Why? Why would MTD not understand that they're lost? I don't get it.
I mean, to be fair, C-3PO also thought like, "Hey, cannibalism is cool."
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but that was also stupid.
Yeah, it's consistent. That's what Star Wars is all about, consistency.
And if consistency means being stupid, then that's just how it is. You know, that was kind of what I was really happy about when Siva told me, like, hey, you know, when Jeff Johns wrote Superman Secret Origins, there were origin stories, but he kind of just ignored a lot of them because they were stupid. It's like, he sounds like my kind of writer. Just like, all of this is shit. Wait, I'm not going to write about this. Fuck you.
He brings in all the good stuff and then retcons all the bad stuff.
Yeah, very easy. It's not, you shouldn't be above doing that if everything you have as actually shit. There you go. Oh yeah, Han and Chewie, they actually left the Falcon running, so when they decide to go, they can just immediately go. That's kind of smart. It's like, oh, okay, you don't need to like do a thing where like, oh no, we can't switch it up in time. Yeah, sure. And the moment where they go inside, that's right when the TIE appears. Table Car is there, and she wants to join the Falcon. She's a kid, and she's literally not going to provide any help to you. But sure, I guess take her on the Falcon.
They're friends, so she wants to help. I guess
she wants to help, which means she's gonna be on the Falcon and do nothing, or like try, I guess, to shoot a turret or I don't know.
It's often worse than that because sometimes he'll say, "Remember when this happened," and then completely disregard what happened. Like every time.
Alex, but do you remember during the adventure with the courtship of Princess Leia, which was after the truce at Bakura?
Yeah, Kevin is only able to appeal to like your most base senses of, oh, remember that one line from that movie? Remember when this character said this thing? But when it's like about actual continuity...
Remember when Luke cut off the arm of the one Wampa? He's back and he wants revenge.
Yeah, this is remember when Salazar, he's got my back.
Exactly.
I would advise not getting killed by him. His sword traps the souls of its victims.
No. Yeah. But yeah, if it's about actual continuity, like, okay, this character was written in a certain way and he's supposed to be doing certain things, then it's suddenly like out of the question to keep continuity. And nobody's ever gonna acknowledge this, like, you know, that JT just doesn't keep continuity with the Thrawn trilogy. People are just like pretending that nobody's making that argument, and it's so sad. Yeah, oh yeah, I got that one actually. I think I saw like Brennan post a video about this, like, oh, it is?
Yeah, but
okay.
A bunch of people posted about it.
Yeah.
I got them because I don't want to read a PDF.
Exactly. I hate reading digitally. I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean,
I'm scared that it's going to get taken out. So
yeah, probably. At some point, somebody might realize that it's happening. Also, is it true that he apparently said he's never going to release it on Amazon?
No, it's not that he said that. It's that he said he was never going to release it in general.
Oh.
But in this case, it's at cost. So it's just like the cost of print.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different, kind of.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
At some point, I'll read it. I hate reading digitally. It's aggravating.
The third book is like $7.69.
Yeah. It's like one is like maybe 14, one is 11 euros or something, one is 7. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's a steal, sure. It's essentially like as if I had the PDF and just printed it for myself. So okay.
I'm still thinking about maybe buying them, but then I would have to
do
read
it, please. Them. Please, you need to do it. I want to see.
You have to look into the minds of a madman. It's.
I want to see you make videos about it. I think that could be funny. But yeah, I heard. And I think Brandon made a community post or something. That's when I saw it first, and then he made.
I think Alex made it.
Oh, did you see the comment I left on? Did you see the comment I left on the Matt Wilkins live stream where he announced it?
Oh, he did. No, I didn't see that. No.
Oh wait, I'm gonna send this into the
Did
Discord.
you do a funny like haha?
I did a funny thing. Hold on. It's pretty good.
I'm sure it is.
Based Alex.
You-
Okay,
It's-
here.
it to imagine it is so funny. It's great. Oh wait, you tagged me. Wait, where is it? Cool to see upcoming fanfiction authors getting into publishing. Of course, you liked your own comment. Very very manly of you, Noah. But no, you should definitely. I mean, when I saw the prices, like for the donation thing, I'm like, that's not viable. There's probably going to be shipping fees. They're going to be astronomical because America, no chance. But this,
Oh my god! Sorry,
printed in Europe.
Guys, I just looked at the Matt Wilkins stream. Someone in the comments is like, just out of curiosity, I checked the Amazon bestseller rank this morning. Last night, it was in the 13,000s in books.
I mean, hey, there you go.
30,000s, yeah. Wow.
Do you have a book in the 30,000s of best-selling books on Amazon, Noah? There you go.
I think it was doing pretty well in Canadian Amazon, but it's Canadian Amazon, so I don't know.
But yeah, they go. No, I got them. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, the covers look cool. I'm like, yeah, sure. At some point, I'll read them, and I'd rather read them physically, so I don't mind that. Yep. Exactly. So chapter.
We read your fanfic, right? So
What? I'm sorry.
We read Noah's fanfic, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
yeah, but my fanfic was short and actually good, and it was an actual story.
the stream wasn't short, so But yeah, I mean, I'm open to in general reading some fanfic. I'm not that canon puristic as.
I mean, you are currently reading Young Jedi Knights,
which is borderline fanfic. I mean, yeah, I agree. But yeah, we're almost done, so let's just finish this up. Chapter 20. Coral has basically no issues with flying. So I'm like, you haven't you weren't in a cockpit for like 20 years. I would assume there's like minimal problems at least. But nope, everything's working fine and dandy. As Coral is approaching, so Coral sees the Millennium Falcon, and his first thought, his instinct is, okay, they probably have like far stronger ships underground somewhere. It's like a lunatic, an actual brainwashed lunatic who lived in the woods for 20 years has higher and more realistic expectations of how this place should be defended than the people who are running this place. It's so depressing. Like, Jesus.
I just like the part where he sees the Falcon and is like, nah, I shouldn't shoot that because
that can't be. That can't be it. There needs to be something else.
Why not shoot it anyway? I don't get it.
That's true, but still, like having this instinct of, okay, there's probably more things around here I need to look out. It's like, yeah, that's kind of what you would hope. It's not. But...
It's not like he's being sneaky. It's a TIE fighter in the sky.
True, it's kind of noisy, and I mean, it's TIE fighters, they're not the part of the usual Yavin Force scenery, so people are gonna see. But anyway, I'm like, why doesn't the Praxium even have a shield? The fucking Gungans got a shield generator, but the Praxium did not.
The Jedi are dumber than Gungans.
And I'm not even gonna acknowledge Phantom Menace coming out later as like a viable reason. No, that's like the smart thing to do. The Gungans are smarter than the Jedi. And you can quote me on that. That's a quote I stand by. Gungans are smarter than Jedi. There you go. Coral, he's almost at his goal. He fires his turrets just to suddenly realize, oh no, they're not working.
Damn.
Oh, nice. Hello, Jason. How are you doing, mate? Hope you had a wonderful weekend.
If only he had like tested them when he was still right beside the kids that could fix them.
That was exactly my thought. It's like, okay, how about you sit yourself in the cockpit when you're about to start this thing? You just shoot. And if nothing happens, like, you fucking assholes, you think you can fool me. repair the fucking turrets. And if it works, it's like, okay, you've destroyed a few fucking trees in the woods.
Wait, I may be completely off here, but would that still work? Like the guns on the TIE fighter, would they still work? Because you talked about the blaster and how
Of
it
course they
probably shouldn't.
wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. But if they make a point of like, oh, they're fixing the turrets, then or like the entire ship, then of course the turrets are part of it. And yeah, I mean, and even if that wasn't possible at all, isn't that something that he would like, consider at any point? Like, oh, why?
I might need these guns.
Like, yeah, the only other thing I can literally do instead is like suicide dive, which I mean, fair enough, that isn't something that wouldn't be unfathomable for this character because he's insane. But yeah, he's like, oh, I guess I have no weapons then. That's kind of fucked. Yeah, it's. I'll talk about the page thing in a moment, but yeah, when I had that moment when I just calculated like, wait, if I just assume all YJK books have like 200 pages, that means I have almost 3K pages of pure Kevin that I need to read through. Holy fuck!
See, I like the Sci-Fi Book Club hardcovers because it compresses them into like 120 pages.
Yeah, I mean
the font size and the page size, so it makes you think you're reading far less.
Yeah, I mean it's probably not like 200. Wait, I'm gonna see. Like Heirs of the Force in German was bit less. It was 177 pages.
Yeah, I think they're all about 180-ish.
Yeah, something along
with a little bit bigger font size than your average mass market paperback.
True, yeah, and German is a bit longer, so okay, fine, yeah, but still, like it's a lot, and yeah, and yeah, of course, the singular books don't make a difference, but when you realize there's 14 of them, suddenly it's like, oh, jeez, I legit underestimated how long.
And then you get off the high of just reading Junior Jedi Knights and think this is going to be on that level, and you're like, why? Why is this?
Junior Jedi Knights like legit repaired my not only my love, like my excitement kind of for reading Star Wars things. So
and now it was crushed right away.
Immediately crushed.
Leave it to Kevin J. Anderson to crush your dreams.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna read his Dune sequels.
Oh, yeah. If I ever read Dune, I don't care enough about Dune. I'm gonna read Frank Herbert and that's it. But oh well.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. But yeah, oh yeah, and so remember how I said, oh, Jason realized that there's something in the cockpit that's gonna totally save them. Well, now that thing is appearing, and it's actually one of the stupid crystal snakes that Jason is holding as a pet. One of them is inside the cockpit.
Why did it have to be snakes?
That made more sense, though. It's like, oh, okay. So now he has a crystal snake that's going to make him fall asleep in the cockpit. Cool. Chapter 21, we're almost done, folks. Han, oh yeah, he gives that Carl a chance to tell him where the kids are before he's shooting them down. Like, okay, makes sense, yeah, you're going to try to question him first. Then he tries to kill him. It doesn't work, obviously, and since Jaina built her hyperspace thingy into the TIE fighter, he escapes. And oh yeah, Han is kind of mad because the hyperspace aggregate was supposed to be used like for tinkering around and not for building it into a fighter. And that made me question, like, what else is she gonna be doing with that thing other than building it into a fighter? Like, there's no other purpose to this thing. Like, okay, you can fix it up, I guess, and then what? Like,
you could charge it in the river.
You could charge it in the river, as we've learned. And then what else? Like, it's just a thing. It's like, oh, you have this like engine. I didn't expect you to build this into a car. It's like, what else am I supposed to do with that thing? There's no other purpose.
Look at it from afar. It sits on your table.
Like, oh, cool. I did the thing and now it works, but I'm never gonna use it. So nice, I guess. Yeah, that's it. Chapter 22. Oh yeah, Jaina and Jason, they have like learned a valuable lesson.
What?
Yeah, they have learned a valuable lesson. And let me tell you about the lesson because it's actually smart. If they go somewhere, right, which happens, they should tell others where they're going.
Wow.
and also what they're doing when they're going to that place. Like when I experienced this moment with them, I felt like I understood and appreciated these characters a lot more. It's like
Dan,
finally, I got
you're gonna
Yeah.
hate this series so much more after reading the Jude Watson stuff.
I know, and
It's actually
horrific.
incredible because I
And
was just thinking about like the themes and messages that she puts in her books, and it's
Yeah.
like good.
So what you're saying is this like 40 minutes that you've been here has already pushed Young Jedi Knights further down.
Maybe,
Listening to
I hope so.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, what's the morality in Jude Watson's book? For Kenobi, it's fuck a hot blonde chick. I'm like, yeah, I'm down with that. That's cool. I can buy that. Rather than, hey, if you go places, you're like a teenager, so maybe tell people where you're going. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I kind of liked how Luke is represented in this moment here. It's like he's both very imposing, which is clear because Tenel Ka is like uncharacteristically intimidated when he starts talking to her. Usually she's pretty confident. Now she was kind of insecure, but he's also still modest when he says he'd like to take a ride with a skyhopper at some point with the others when they're done. Like, hey, can do a bit of fun together. It's gonna be nice. That's, I guess, okay. He praises them for doing a good job. I don't know, for whatever. And yeah, that's it.
You missed it. He said, back in episode 4, I had something like this ship too. My own
true.
T16 Skyhopper. Yeah.
I
Remember
have
that
seen the
episode 4?
movie. I have seen the movie. I have to say that, yeah. And that's it. That's Heirs of the Force.
Yeah, everyone clapped at the end too. It's very, very. Woo!
Woo! Yeah. Pico, I guess, do you have any thoughts for the end? What's your out of 10 score? What were your thoughts?
It was a 3. I think it's dropped down to 2.5.
Yeah.
Read JJK instead. It's phenomenal and actually has interesting ideas about the Force and destiny and duty.
Yep, I agree. I'd also probably give this like a 2 or 2.5, maybe 2.5. There were some nice scenes in here. I'm gonna acknowledge that
it has like stakes that make sense at this point in the timeline, or things that can.
Yeah,
and I mentioned this because definitely for no reason, and like it's definitely not going to change coming.
No. You mean to imply that the stakes are not going to make sense in following books? I don't believe that. But yeah, yes, something I noticed, and I remembered this when I read this comment here by Jason. Around 100 pages in, and nothing was happening. This is supposed to be a young adult series. That's the title. That's what every wiki entry and what every author is going to tell you. This is a young adult series. I mean, I've read 2. I've started the 3rd book in this series. I've yet to encounter like any substantial writing difference between this and the JAT.
Here's another question. Do the characters feel 14 to 15?
No.
Or do they feel like
they feel like
8-year-olds? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They feel less mature because, I mean, we're off JJK, right? Immediately afterwards, they feel less mature than Anakin, which I would almost buy if Anakin was like hyper mature and that's just his thing. But they're not even normally mature for people in their age bracket. Yeah, they feel like preteens.
Younger than Tahiri, I would say.
Yeah, Tahiri's more mature than all of them so far. Yeah, other than the fact that there's like 100 to 150 pages more in JAT, I don't see like tone, like writing wise, the way characters speak to each other. I see no substantial difference. Yeah, like what's the difference exactly? Like add 100 pages more to this, and this could have been like JAT book 4. I don't see any difference other than page count. And I have this feeling that other than lightsaber or lightsabers, whatever, the fourth book, that's probably going to be the feeling I have throughout this. It's like there's kind of no difference to the deity. Yeah. So the conclusion to all of this is read JJK. Yeah, and that's it. That's Heirs of the Force. I have nothing more to say. I assume the two of you also don't have anything to add anymore.
Read the Jude Watson books.
Yeah, do that.
I am so excited for those.
Same.
I'm actually so hyped.
I think they're going to be nice. I think like in the post the Unifying Force era, before we start with the Denningverse, we should probably knock out as many good Star Wars things as possible.
Get a few of those. I think KOTOR and Republic are definite things.
Yep.
Probably Tales of the
Comics?
Jedi too.
Nice.
Yeah, we could. Yeah. And we
Galaxy
might
of Fear, the Jude Watson stuff.
Yeah,
Just
like-
everything before you get to the Denningverse, you have to read good material because
exactly, because I already have this feeling now. It's like I'm so close to the finish line and I feel burnt out almost.
I would like to point out for the viewers at home, even with all the shit that was just talked about Young Jedi Knights, this series is gold compared to the Denningverse. Like, I would reread this entire series again, like, no problem, immediately, before touching the Denningverse again.
I believe you.
Yeah, this is just stupid and badly written, but the Denningverse is repulsive.
I could buy that, yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's really all there's to say. I don't expect us to pick up the pace with those books at any point. I feel like that's kind of the rhythm.
Except maybe the Diversity Alliance.
Perhaps we'll see, but
again,
don't-
that storyline alone is so based. You want to stretch it.
Yeah, don't put money on it. Let's just say that. Yeah, that's really it. So Shadow Academy is done. I've read that already. So next Sunday, same time, 4 p.m. Central European. We're gonna talk about Shadow Academy, second book, and yeah, that's all there's to say. So thanks for listening and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Whoa.